大家好，我们新一期的节目又跟大家见面了。最近呢，我们蜂鸟旅游在组织这个美国河的漂流活动哈。每年夏天呢，我们会组织去 American River 几次漂流的活动。我们呢跟大家开发了去漂流的时候呢，在这个 Sacramento 就是我们加州州府附近可以顺道游的一些景点。其中呢，除了雷克塔户我们还开发了荷花池等等其中呢还有两个非常有趣的地方。就是两个地下洞穴这个呢是在加州淘金时代发现的两个洞穴，到现在呢还是热门的旅游景点。今天呢，我们就来跟大家介绍其中的一个。
1849.
Maybe double knotted.
Some of you young ones probably know what happened in 1849. The California
Gold.
Yes. Okay, so the California gold rush, people came from all over the world to California hoping to get rich. And some did, some didn't. But the interesting thing is the little town of Volcano down the road from here. I don't know if you've been through Volcano yet, but it's a very small town. Today the population is about 100 people. By the 1850s, there were over 5,000 people in Volcano. 5,000 people because they found over $90 million worth of gold in the valley surrounding. And we're talking $90 million worth of gold at $20 an ounce. So market value today is probably close to $4 billion worth of gold, okay? So one of those guys being a prospector, he comes up here in the hills, he finds this opening in the rock, he thinks he's got it made, right? He doesn't need a pick or shovel, tosses them aside, there's a nice hole in the ground, he's gonna go down in there and find gold. He did not find any gold. And the reason why is this is a limestone formation, okay? So all your gold in this area comes out of quartz, which comes out of the granite, but this is limestone. And not much for gold bearing. So he was a little bit bummed out. He had this claim, no gold to be found, but he had a brilliant idea. He goes into town, he tells all those people, he says, come up here, I'll show you this cavern. For a pinch of gold dust, I'll let you in. So kind of like what the owners are doing today, really. But that was cool. They did these things called candlelight tours. It lasted about a year. Then they ended, which is really good because when the people were doing these tours, they wanted to take souvenirs. So for another pinch of gold dust, they could reach up and break things off the walls. Okay. So the very first level we're going to is where they went in 1854. And we're going to talk more about what they did when they got there. Okay. You guys ready?
Thank you.
All right. Let's go in. Stalactites. Okay. Stalactites hang from the ceiling. And it's part of how the cavern is actually formed. Because rainwater goes through the topsoil, it comes down, it collects CO2. By the time it gets down here to the limestone, it's actually a mild form of carbonic acid. That's what dissolves the limestone. And as it runs down here, it drips off the end and it grows, just like an icicle off the roof of your house. And it grows by leaving a little mineral deposit right here on the tip. These guys grow at a rate of 1 millimeter every 100 years. Okay? So you young ones, I want you to come back and measure that. So 1 millimeter in 100 years. And look at where these guys, in 1854, they were taking souvenirs. They were breaking these off right here. All across here, all across that wall behind you guys over there. You'll see where there's tips missing off of all those stalactites. And this right here, broken off, represents probably 30,000 years of growth. Okay? So, along with stalactites, we have, you're going to see bumps on the shelves and on the floor and on ledges, that kind of thing, like that bump right there. That's technically a stalagmite, okay? So that's where the minerals drip down and they accumulate and it grows. And you young ones can remember that a stalagmite is the one that might grow to the ceiling someday. Okay?
Stalactite are holding on tight to the ceiling.
I wanted
to say that.
Yes, you guys got
How
it.
dare you? You stole it from reaching.
I learned it in fifth grade in the cave.
I was waiting forever to say it.
So here's where stalactites grow down, stalagmites grow up, it forms a column. And you see the broken chunks right there?
No.
Right there are some chunks missing. And that's because back in 1854, when these guys weren't busy breaking these off for souvenirs, they were over there beating on that column with an iron bar. And you got to wonder, what the heck were they doing, you know? And what it was is you could smack that column with an iron bar and it would ring like a bell. And depending on where they smacked it, it would get different tones. So they'd be over there smacking it, making tunes on that column until they broke it.
Yield and piano.
But once they broke those chunks out, now it's like a cracked bell. It doesn't do anything at all. So just so you know, those guys from 1854, they've all been banned. They're not allowed down here. They're too destructive. So, but what makes this cavern special? And you look all around down here. You guys look up above, you're going to see what looks like roots growing out of the ceilings and the walls and stuff. You can see them right here. These are called helictites. Okay?
They look like lizards.
Yeah, they form all different kinds of shapes, like that shark right there. That boot. You see, they're growing here, there. The thing about helictites is they're very, very rare. They're only found in 5% of the caverns of the world, and we have the second largest display in the United States at the bottom of this cavern. Wow. So you guys are gonna see something that is truly special.
Wow. How are they formed?
They, unlike stalactites and stalagmites, they're actually formed by pressure in the rock, pushing moisture out.
Okay.
Whereas these guys require dripping water and gravity, but these guys, pressure, pushes mineral out as that moisture comes out of the rock, it leaves a mineral deposit, and over time it grows crystals. And those are crystals, unlike like quartz crystals that you typically see, which are often, they have facets and cylindrical shapes.
正如刚才大家所看到的这个画面哈，这两个洞穴呢，都是 guided tour 就是说呢，不是你自己进去玩你到了那个地方之后呢，买门票，然后他们会有既定的这个终点，然后你赶上这个时间就会有一个他们的这个导游带着大家一起下去不是自己玩。这两个地方呢，你可以同时去大家刚才有看到这个地图上他们相距也就是差不多1个小时的车程，非常的方便。如果单独去呢你可以从湾区过去一日游那这个正好。如果只是其中一个呢可能去雷克塔霍等等或者去这个 Sacramento， 比如说我们这个暑假夏天组织美国河的漂流活动的时候呢，大家这个可以顺道去参观1个或者2个，如果时间允许的话比较合适如果是单独去1个呢这个好像不太值得如果单独安排一日游去2个也是可以考虑的。
What cavemen would do in an earthquake?
Probably just
Sitting there and do nothing.
yeah. That's a good description, I think. It's better than my description. So.
Just sit there and wait.
Yeah. This, if you guys want to hang out in a man cave or a she shed, back here is a good place. We're going to put a big screen TV back there and watch football. Yeah.
Release ball for me.
So, who wanted to hear about the vampire bats? There's no vampire bats. In fact, you know what? There's no bats down here at all. Nope. Bats do not navigate vertical caverns very well, so they don't come down here. What? Up there?
好了，以上就是跟大家分享的北加州黄金国度的这个洞穴探险如果你喜欢我们的节目呢，欢迎订阅我们的频道，点赞我们的视频，评论或者分享给你的朋友们如果你想了解更多的详细信息，有文字的介绍，在这个视频的下方这个介绍栏里头呢，我们把这个洞穴的介绍，还有这些漂流活动等等的这个文字和视频的信息都汇总在了一起，大家可以点击查看。再次感谢收看，咱们下期节目再见。